Stop there and ask, potentially, maybe get some answers from the Minister and the Chair.
I'll take a call on that.
Honourable Peter Sharp.
Kia ora. The mediator idea is not really necessary because putahi pāoho don't have anything to do with the actual management of the Whakaata Maori spectrum. That is totally Whakaata Maori's province. What putahi pāoho is a group that represents te ao Maori who are kaitiaki of that taonga. And they are there because they represent groups who are fighting for the reo survival of tō tātou reo. Go back to 1960, the reo was in a very poor state, and it began with ngā tamatoa and kai whakapūmau i te reo, and we grew. In 1980, it'd be hard put to find any MPs in this House that could name more than 4 tribes, because the government did not trade with Maori at all. And so we have come a long way, and there will be mistakes made on the way. But so just to answer you, that a mediator for putahi pāoho would be unnecessary really, because that doesn't involve their role. As for the future use of the spectrum, I think one of the most important things is there is whakapiki te reo, so that we can make sure there is growth in Aotearoa, so that we can provide programs on Māori television that complement the work done outside by panikiretanga, by kura kaupapa, wānanga, and those other, right down to kohanga, so that you go into Māori homes that are involved in one of these programs, Te Reo Māori, and you'll find all the family and the little children are watching Māori programs in the main, until the teenager one switched channel 2. But so that is the most important thing. The second thing is the quality of Te Reo Māori, to actually provide programs that lift the bar in terms of Te Reo Māori and expose different tribal authorities or experts in Te Reo Māori speaking and debating on the marae, but also discussing topics like Haley's comment, how often it comes stuff, combustion engines or whatever's topical that requires that degree of excellence in Te Reo Māori to be able to carry. But so other thing is to have relevant programs for Māori to grow as a people in this country, but also to embrace New Zealand as a single culture. It's a fact that they did remove from the first draft the idea that it is there for all parts of, from the actual wording, but it relates to, they've taken away the clause that said to cover the needs of all New Zealanders, because it has a particular function. You can't do everything. So it's focusing on Te Reo Māori and from through that out to the rest of New Zealand. So more reo content, more quality reo content are the desires for that. Also the international involvement. Whakaata Māori has led the world of Indigenous people to create a network of an Indigenous television, and it's really exciting that we're able to share programs of other Indigenous people's journeys and note the parallels and so on. So that's some of the stuff that I can go off the cuff about the plans for Poka Whakaata. There is no change in the spectrum use of Whakaata Māori allocation. So it is in fact still the same allocation to pursue those goals. It's not going to change halfway through as someone thought that might happen. That's not going to happen because of the, if you like, their the direction that they've written down to take. I think it's important to notice the support that Whakaata Māori provides to other Māori initiatives, which consummate, if you like, the fact that there is a Māori culture in this country, like during the Māori World Cup, getting some of the games to broadcast, but even more importantly, showcasing Māori rugby in the Waka Māori down at the waterfront, and other activities that they do in the public arena, like, as you mentioned, Anzac tangihanga of leaders and things like that, and people get an insight into that, and the reaction is very, very positive, and it should be, because it's real and it's New Zealand. It's for all New Zealand. So that's all I have to say at this stage.
The question is that part 1 stand part. Those of that opinion will say aye. Contrary, no. The ayes have it. The question now is that part 2 stand part. Those of that opinion will say aye. Contrary, no. The ayes have it. The question is that clause 1 stand part. Those of that opinion will say aye. Contrary, no. The ayes have it. The question is that the Minister's amendment set out on SOP number 391 be agreed to. Those of that opinion will say aye. Contrary, no. The ayes have it. The question now is that clause 2 as amended stand part. Those of that opinion will say aye. Contrary, no. The ayes have it. The question is that clause 3 stand part. Those of that opinion will say aye. Contrary, no. The ayes have it. I will report this bill with amendment. Thank you. Well done.
Members, the House is resumed. Mr Chairman.
Mr Speaker, the committee has considered the Maori television service Te Aratuku Whakaata Urarangi Maori Amendment Bill and reports it with amendment. Mr Speaker, I move that the report be adopted.
The question is that the report be adopted. Those of that opinion will say aye. To the contrary, no. The ayes have it. The bill is set down for third reading forthwith. Peter Sharples.
Mr Speaker, I move that the Maori Television Service Amendment Bill be now read a third time. Mr Speaker, kai te koro au i te reo Māori. Hei te māngai, hei te whare.